to make sure that, well, it is really a god, Emperor's godsend that you managed to take out this war, because otherwise that fleet, Turkish fleet, could have ripped. Basically, give me a minimum an hour so I can deal with this clusterfuck bullshit, and then I can talk with you and your cadre about next move.
Take your time, Admiral. It's been a bit of a hectic day. Until then, I do believe my cadre and I are going to need a rest and or a drink.
Hopefully, yeah, your ships should still be fine, and if not, hopefully some of the quarters are... Probably a few of the quarters will be free, and hopefully all of them are not too damaged. So enjoy your...
Indeed. Company, command squad. You're free to do as you will for the moment. Though the ship was just a battleground, so conduct yourselves accordingly.
Yeah, some of them will go start helping cleaning up, taking care of the bodies. Ignacia is immediately going straight to the closest infirmary. Or just dealing.
I suppose I should do that too. Oh well, drinking later.
And Mayek, I'm going to need to talk to you later.
As for the others, yeah, they go somewhere where they can be useful. Counter maybe ghost checks armory to make start indexing stuff, or just making sure that there are no unexploded devices left, etc.
Primaris Heron, are you feeling all right then?
Who did he address that to?
Primaris Heron.
Primaris.
He was in the process of walking away, but he about turns and looks over to yourself. I've been better, but I cannot complain.
Well, if your wounds are healed, then I suppose it won't be necessary for you to make a trip to the infirmary.
I simply need to rest my mind. That is all.
Very well. I will see you there. Well, I won't see you there then. Though, if you require a sedative.
Noted. You have my thanks.
What he probably needs is a good few hours to meditate.
Probably to meditate, yes.
Better living through chemistry. Well, I suppose I'm off to make myself useful.
And as to me, I'm going to drink. Time for drinking. Then again, never mind. I'm gonna head to the infirmary, because Anthus was originally a combat medic. Might as well go do something. Drinking can happen after the ship is back to normal.
Is Sigmund doing anything special?
He is going to check on basically go to where fighting was and make sure see what needs to be repaired.
Okay, you conduct yourself in repairs of several stuff.
And he's gonna put in some requisition for a new weapon because this lasgun ain't cutting it.
Like a man-portable las cannon, that could work.
Yeah, considering what you just did, it shouldn't be a problem to get it. Mechanicals were kinda, well, glad there was somebody logical that dealt with this situation. Anyways, after 2 hours to your personal vox, the message addressed to Xantis and his cadre is that Admiral says, well, I assessed the situation and I am good to discuss further matters. I will also have some stuff to talk with Inquisition Inquisition
See.
representative. I will be waiting at my personal quarters.
Well, Meg, Zhao, Sigmund, are you finished with your duties? Or not duties, are you finished with whatever it is you were doing?
At this point, yeah, probably. I'll have to. Yes.
I would rather like a shower.
You don't have to go. Either way, if it pleases you, meet in the Admiral's quarters. If not, then continue with whatever it is you're doing. Oh, that reminds me. Major Kenneth.
Yes, Inquisitor? Like, he wasn't sure for a moment if he should say by title or by name. But he was with Inquisitor.
Unless you're what is the word? Predisposed?
Preoccupied?
Indisposed.
Unless you're preoccupied at the moment, meet me in the Admiral's chamber. It's about time we discuss some things with him.
I will be there, sir.
Good man.
Fucking hell. Right, several minutes later, those who wanted to meet assemble at Admiral's room. He cleaned up a little bit. Of course, the wall and furniture is still like damaged, and there's like bullet holes in the wall. And on the desk, there's also like reports, data slates with communication reports, like. And he welcomes you. First of all, well, probably thank you for helping me dealing with the situation. And second, I completed my assessment of the situation. And as much, well, how do I put it? I know you might be busy, but if I could employ you, so to speak, use your services for a prolonged period of time, that would actually help Imperial forces greatly.
What is it that you need, Admiral?
Well, you see, the thing is, even with, let's just say, over half of my current fleet surviving, we still took some losses up from the Imperial regiments that were on board, and they were meant to be, for example, backup to ground forces. And as for ground forces, I am, well, not exactly pleased to inform you that even though Imperial forces managed to survive the Orcish onslaught, thanks to your warning, and they won in this, I'm afraid to say that General Buchard fell in the battle, fulfilling his duty for the God Emperor.
See.
But apart from that, he's one of many. Many of our troops, officers, chain of command, perished. And as much as orcs will not be too much of a trouble with their warboss dead, a lot of them evacuated or whatever the fuck they did, there's still a matter of, well, making sure that orcish presence will be gone from subsector entirely, and, which is more pressing, to make sure that, well, Severan doesn't decide to use this moment of our weakness to his advantage. What I mean is that I need confirmation, because I don't remember. Did you inform Admiral about your project and trying to like negotiate with planetary governors on their plans to pressure Severan into resigning?
Yes, John, did we? I want to say we
vaguely
did.
recall that, yes.
I want to say, like, at first we were being more subtle about it, but when he seemed to be open to the idea, then we just told him, like, oh, and I remember it was something like Xanthus told the Admiral not to, I guess, engage the Severan forces, like not to totally wipe them out because we need their goodwill, basically. And when the Admiral asked why, Xanthus just explained to him. Instead of being subtle about it, just told him, okay, look, and told him the plan. So the Admiral should know the plan.
Yeah. So this project of yours, it is like front burner. It is for me, it's a priority.
Good to see that some people in the Imperium still have their sense about them.
Well, somebody has needs a. It's more of about the fact that, well, I'd rather not go back to Terra and ask for more reinforcements, because as you know, as they say, success demands no explanation, failure allows none. I already stretched my goodwill thin by asking for more reinforcements. And even if they ask for more, by that time the Severan troops are in a solid position to completely wipe out the ground troops, and then probably they would be able to amass space superiority.
It's for fun.
Which more or less, like he says that somewhat in character but out of character. This is the thing that I'm mentioning as a time skip. What I planned, and I hope it would make sense, is that you have necessary skills, so we won't be playing this session by session. It will be a time skip, on a specified time, but probably in years, not months, but not too many, when you do too many things. One, you like do a rapid like tour the Imperium, going through many Severan planets, negotiating with planetary governors, doing this entire political Game of Thrones style cloak and dagger business. And on the other hand, you will be aiding special squads of Admiral Dumac from his navy, and scouring through the subsector and cleansing the remaining, if in case some of the orcs didn't go out, cleansing the sector from green skin presence entirely. Basically, he has a view of a closer working relationship for some period of time, to make sure that this entire thing doesn't fall apart.
That's fine. Yes, it's not as... Wait. Pause for a second. Yes, that'll be fine. Although, Admiral, while we're on the topic, if we can get some of these planetary governors to join our cause, we could probably use their men to supplement your own.
Yes, that was one of the main ideas. Besides, in case somebody hears about what's going on here, it's always easier to say that they are treated as a penal battalions. But yes, I already figured out, besides when we were discussing back when with Good General, that, well, yeah, we in best case scenario, we will be using their manpower resources to additionally aid you in cleaning the greenskins. And from there, well, obviously I will have to clear it with higher ups and segmentum command. But if this entire subsector will be taken care of, then apart from border control and making sure nothing comes from that fucking cold dark space from Halo Stars, beyond Halo Stars, I guess many of the present forces will be transferred through local gate to Jericho Reach to aid in that crusade.
Yes, that was going to be my next suggestion. If and when we take this dominant back for the Imperium. Although, that does remind me of something. Admiral, out of character, before Xanthus even suggests this, is it customary for high-ranking Imperial officers to become the subsector lords of regions they conquer?
Yes. Sort of.
Not unheard of.
It's not like a
Appointments,
standard
however, are
practice,
done by
but
Terra.
yeah. Usually, like, if you do very, very well, spoils do tend to run that way, but it's not like a standard procedure sort of thing. But it happens.
I wonder. Ugh, that would be overstepping even Xanthus' authority.
You can't give it to him.
No. No. That's not what Xanthus was going to suggest. What Xanthus was going to suggest, to put it bluntly, is... Well, first off, before I say this, I was under the impression that it would be the Lord Sector who divides up sub-sectors, not Terra. So that kind of throws my idea off a bit. What Xanthus was
Practically, yes. Officially, no. It's just that it moves so slowly that by the time that Terra says something about it, generations have passed. So
I don't know that subsectors actually have governors.
Yeah, there's a subsector lord.
Really?
Mm-hmm. What Xanthus was going to suggest was that he would ask Lord Inquisitor Caden to use his political power, do some political manipulation to get the Admiral the subsector lord position. But before he says that, I want to see if that was even possible.
Possible, not easy. Essentially, he would have to prevail on
Well, for one, we could just stroke his ego.
For one thing, we would need hacks.
Which is why Xanthus would suggest using Caden, who definitely has connections to hacks.
Two, you would have to have it signed off by the segmentum of bureaucracy. So they're at least one layer up.
But
I'm sure Caden would have those kinds of connections. It's just if he would use them.
Well, he does remember want this to succeed, or at least he doesn't want it to fail is a better way to phrase it.
Well, that's true, but this would also mean that he would have to essentially come out on our side, which...
that is also true. Then again, would he really? Because the point of using the the point of influencing the sector, Lord Sector, should I say, is that you do it subtly. There's no actual... If I'm thinking about it in terms of the talent, there's no way to do that overtly. So I would think he would use his influence subtly, so he wouldn't actually be coming out on our side. Be more of a whisper in the Lord Sector's ear kind of thing. Like, hey, the general who was leading that force is dead, so the highest ranking person in command of this offensive, the admiral, still alive. He oversaw this entire operation. Thanks to him, a war boss is dead.
Yeah, I was about to say we need to start. I think we would need to boost his reputation a bit first.
We would not
Give
be
him
able
all
to
the
guarantee.
glory
Not
for this campaign.
true, but we also would not be able to guarantee that sort of thing.
No, but
I like how you're forgetting that we are not asking him about his opinion. Because he's not a cardboard box. Who says if he would be even willing to become more of a politician?
That was going to be my next question, actually. Is that out of character? Well, no, I guess that's something we can ask in character. But yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is that something he would want if Xanthus told him that he might be able to arrange it?
Well, you could always put the idea by him and see how he responds.
Yeah, hearing the question, he strikes his chin. As much as with prestige and splendor this comes, he pauses, looks behind at that bullet-ridden wall, looks at you again. I was born and raised in a military family, trained all my life to serve in Navy. Got the Admiral. I wouldn't mind getting Lord Admiral, I guess that's the higher rank. But I do not think I will find myself dealing with all of this sector ruling stuff.
Even provisionally, it would possibly be a route to an imperial charter.
I think I understand why you suggest that, and yes, that I guess would be helpful. But as I said, I would probably maybe do it not because I wanted, but to give you some sort of resource to use. But as I said, if not for that, I would not be interested.
Well, it is the case that someone will need to oversee, and it's best if it's in the position of someone that we know. So,
I understand.
And someone that's competent.
But
or tractable.
I'm competent with Navy stuff and leading, not ruling planet civilians. And besides, I'm pretty sure, with no offense, with amount of noble families fighting for any bit of power, there won't be lack of candidates to fill the position.
Noble families all start somewhere, and it's of course true, my dear Admiral, that, well, any governor is only as good as its administration, isn't it? There could be plenty of spoils to go around. Enough to keep the higher families a bit more helpful.
Although I do have to wonder.
And constantly remind them that it was him that saved them from the orcs in the first place, so there's always that.
And assuming we are successful, the headman's axe.
Definitely true. What he's saying is, technically speaking, all of these men should be executed for betraying the Imperium, whereas if we win, they won't be, and they have, in public, they have the Admiral to thank for that. So that would do a little bit to keep them more docile. Remember, if it wasn't for this man, you would all be dead.
He knows.
Not just because you'd be executed, but you'd be chopped to pieces by greenskins.
But I learned from my life, and today reinforced it. People sometimes tend to forget things, lack common sense, or get downright idiotic. But, well, I'm not declining the offer, but I will probably need a few days to think about it and figure it out if this will
Oh, well,
be possible.
days. We have quite some time, actually. You can certainly take several months to think it over if necessary.
Indeed. Well, the
Is a
subsector
major
is not
decision.
as large, but I imagine the scoring to look for orcs and making sure that they are gone, you know, as the fungus, to make sure that they never return here, because these infestations are bloody night. I imagine even for transportation it will take at minimum year and a half, probably 2, maybe 3, because some of those planets are, well, it will take time, but I guess it can be well spent, and the entire negotiation process. Hopefully nothing will happen in the meantime.
Famous last words.
I already have an idea, and or 2. What will it?
Oh yes, that reminds me. Once we start supplementing, well, if we manage to start supplementing your men with the Severan's own, I'm going to need more men. If
Well,
I'm going to be,
you have much
I'm going to
leverage,
be-
but I will probably still ask how many. Just you know, to prepare myself to find out proper men, I guess.
enough to make a full company, not this half company that I'm dealing with currently.
If I remember
we're going to
correctly,
be-
full-sized company is it 200 people or 500?
I was thinking 100, but
Yeah, probably 100. Yeah, he can go with like slightly not advantage reinforced company, so up until 150 people total,
ding. Thank you.
including like 2 dedicated heavy weapon squads.
Do we get any transports and vehicles?
You have your
And/or-
ship.
Well, I mean, ground stuff, planetary stuff.
Oh. Well, if those chimeras were of use to you, I guess I can, well, not borrow, but like give 4 of those to you.
Damn.
Good to have friends in high places.
Sugar Daddy the Mac.
Although, what's the bigger version for like transport vehicle? Because
For
chimeras,
Chimeras.
only chimeras?
Chimeras
Um,
are the normal Imperial Guard ground troop transport, yeah.
Okay.
The others are. You start getting into the tanks after that.
Okay. Never mind then.
Inquisition might have access to like a Torox or something like that, but yeah.
Oh, guys, let's get a Baneblade. Hey.
Greed.
10 Valkyrie gunships, please.
When I hear Baneblades, I remind myself from that. Was it from Solstice campaign? 100 Baneblades requisitioned to went somewhere else. Fucking hell. Anyways,
I've hidden my Baneblade carefully behind a 5-inch thick tree.
So basically, we will have like between 3 to max 5-year time skip, which like 1 or 2 scenes or like specific scenarios will happen somewhere in between, because some stuff will happen, which in turn will allow me, the entire time skip will allow me to set some stuff up. It will give you a chance to train your troops properly in some cases. And yeah, if you are not curious but worrying, then probably at some point Benjamin will flop by with his like facade of like chill dude and bandaged hand, like smiling and being like happy-go-lucky and informing that yeah, don't worry, you'll have time to deal with all of this. It could be useful as a pieces of domino, but yeah, still do your best. you do not want to procrastinate and waste time unnecessarily. After all, they call this era times of ending, or like times of ending, or whatever.
Is it the end times?
The end times.
Yeah.
But
That
this,
reminds me,
this
didn't
will
they
be
canonize a new Chaos God?
They what?
The end
Yeah, the
times? No, they did.
Skaven thingy-majig.
It's not a chaos god. The horned rat has always kind of been there.
I thought they brought it into 40k lore now as well.
Oh, and the 40k lore? No, the Skaven aren't there. No.
I know they aren't, but hang on, let me find that.
Warhammer Fantasy and 40k are officially separate. Games Workshop has said that they are not part of the same universe.
And yeah, I think this might be okay point to end. Now, to give you an experience.
The Skaven are kind of like the Warhammer.
Oh, this should be
version of
good.
Tyranids. Really numerous.
Oh, that
Just
experience.
Okay, so manage to, for now, stabilize the situation in Segmentum.
Oh yeah, we need to inform someone about the huge orcish
Kill,
armada wherever they were.
kill the Grimtooth. I mean, I am assuming. I mean, this will be one of the things we'll be dealing like from next session onwards, because I imagine during those 3 to 5 years, you are also like going back to Scintilla and informing about stuff. But we'll deal with that. So, killing Grimtooth, breaking the Wa on its back, learning about the Call of the Gods and the fact that they are maybe moving, starting to like move cluster together. And good thing I checked in canon lore which Orc Warboss is considered the most badass one and actual prophet of
Isn't that
Warhammer.
Gazgul?
Yeah, I don't remember, like Matt.
It's hard to say.
Matt Uruk-Taka.
Yeah,
Something.
Gazgul.
Yeah, him. I mean, canonically, like as I read on Wiki, he's like the most fearsome and dangerous warboss with the biggest Wa.
Surprisingly smart as well.
Well, the Arc Artemis isn't actually all that bad either.
Yeah, they are pretty bad motherfuckers. Like there will be some concentrations of orcs happening, and that's not the only thing that will happen. Because if you forgot, like I kind of mentioned, I didn't specify the year, but in my head, because for me the events of Dawn of War are canon for this universe, then this means that the timeline is set already in 42nd millennium, the opening years. Anyways, for XP and influence, for all of that stuff.
What's our current influence? Because mine is empty for some reason.
Oh yeah,
64.
Thank you.
Let's see, influence.
probably Xanthus has the accurate. I mean, Joe probably also.
I have mine at 66.
You're the Inquisitor.
I mean, I
I
assume.
think you get yours higher, right?
No, I assume
No.
The cadres, like the play characters, are on the same influence, because there's a way you can spend 5 or D5 influence points and do something with it, but then you need to discuss with entire group that, hey, do you want to spend that influence?
Yeah, that's the this one thing I ask of you thing.
Yep, this one. All right.
Oh yes. Delightful. It's even more than I thought.
How much?
Cool. 5,000.
And that gives you.
Was that 5,000 or 500?
5,000.
That's 5,000.
Cool.
That gives you 10 influence, and I'm gonna throw 10 extra already. Like this is like prepayment for the stuff that you will deal with Segmentum as a whole, meaning the like stabilize the situation.
86. Heavens.
We have so much influence.
You're making a name for yourself.
I should be able to get my gun then. Cool. I need to decide if I want that I don't want to do the Cairo thing. Is the thing? I don't know.
This would be it. And I'm gonna-
How